Welcome everyone to today's media conference call with Patrick Russell, who it was announced earlier today signed a one-year contract extension with the Edmonton Oilers. Patrick joins us from Copenhagen, Denmark, with a great backdrop, one of the best backgrounds we've had for one of these calls, a number of jerseys. Maybe Patrick, just react to signing this contract, getting this done at this time. What are your feelings knowing that you know where you're going to be next season?
No, I'm obviously happy about it. I've been with the organization for 4 years now. I knew I wanted to try to come back, and when they wanted me back, it was just signing the contract. So I'm really happy about it and excited to be back for next season.
Just maybe talk, Patrick, about being in the bubble. You were in a different situation, didn't get into a game. I guess you got into the game, the exhibition game, but just talk about what the experience was like in the bubble, what was like, being one of those players that had to stay ready just in case for the Oilers during that play-in round.
Yeah, as you said, it was obviously different for everybody. The guys that are kind of on the edge didn't play. We had to stay ready every day. So we obviously stayed on longer doing practices, try to stay ready, did some extra workouts, just do whatever you could to be ready if something happened and you had to get in the lineup.
Patrick, given your background, maybe just describe what's behind you. We recognize some Oilers jerseys to the left, but are all those your jerseys, or what's the story on all those jerseys?
It's a blend of my sisters and I. You can kind of see there's a St. Cloud there in the middle, and then it kind of just goes to the right. That's all mine. Got a couple of Bakersfield jerseys up there, I believe, and national teams jerseys. So it's kind of cool. I try to get a jersey for my mom every year, and she kind of just hangs them up, and the same goes for my sister. So it's kind of cool to look back at every couple of years and see your journey.
Now, Patrick, this season got into 45 games at the NHL level, first season as a full-time NHLer. What did you learn from this season, and what do you look to improve upon for next year?
Yeah, it was obviously my first year. There's a lot to learn. I think I took some good steps in the right direction, but I also think I can improve a lot and maybe create more offensively and create some more momentum for the team. I think I've shown in the past in Bakersfield that every year I kind of got better and better as time went on. I got more used to it and kind of knew in the summers what I had to work on. I believe I can take a couple of steps during the summer here and prepare for next year and come back even stronger.
Hand it over to Ryan Hertzun, who has a couple questions, I believe. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey Patrick, I was just wondering when you guys were leaving the bubble there, what was the first thing you did when you got back home? I guess like what did you have to have like a big hug from your family, or did you have to have like a certain meal? Like what was the first thing you had to do when you got out of the bubble?
Well, first thing I did was get tested once I got out of the airport. But after that, we always kind of have a huge family dinner, just get everybody over, see everybody. This time was longer because I went to Winnipeg doing the break there in the NHL. So I actually ended up not being home for almost over a year. So there's a lot of people I hadn't seen, and then the couple of days after, you kind of just try to catch up with friends and family and just see everybody and get back into it.
And what was it like? I guess going back to the bubble there, you touched on what was it like in there, but was it weird seeing the other competitors, the other teammates, the other players and stuff around, and then it felt like a giant world championship tournament. Like what was it like kind of not being able to kind of almost get away from the game?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was different, right? It's obviously weird seeing other teams walk around the same hotels. It's weird seeing other teams in our locker room, and we had to go to other locker rooms. So it's definitely weird. But I think we all kind of made the best of the situation, which you just got to do. You got to, in these weird times, you just got to do the best you can. And it was weird, but at the same time, it was kind of an experience you just had to try and take in.
And what about other guys talking about your guys' locker room? Because all I've heard was that it was incredible and that they didn't want to leave the dressing room. So did you have to tell guys not to touch your stall or get out of there quickly as possible? Or what was that kind of engagement like?
No, yeah, it's great group of guys, especially in those surroundings too. You kind of go, you see them all the time, right? You get a special bond to everybody, and it was I wish we would have stayed there longer because it was a good time. We started playing games and started getting some competitiveness going outside the ring. So it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, Ryan. Maybe one last question to finish, Patrick, and that's obviously uncertainty going forward as far as when next year we'll be playing, those type of things. Just wondering how an athlete plans for that as far as an off season. I know you've started skating already, but with that uncertainty, how do you plan as far as training standpoint and also resting and rehabbing?
Yeah, it's we kind of got back into it. We had 2 months off there where we really worked hard and the training camp where we got into it. So I'd taken a little time off after the bubble, but now I'm starting slowly to get back into it. I'm doing the workouts that our strength coaches post online, and just kind of starting slowly to get back on the ice and just building it up.